Hi, I'm Chris Wooldridge, Sales Engineer for Holden Associates. And today we're going to select a 100% outdoor air unit with energy recovery utilizing the GreenHeck CAP software. From the start screen, we're going to go to our list of jobs where I've created a new job called Demo already. You can go to your Locale tab and you can select a location to generate bin weather data or edit your own. We're going to create a new mark. We'll select by model, packaged ventilators, and you can see the GreenHeck RV and RVE. The RV is the standard rooftop ventilator. The RVE is rooftop ventilator with energy recovery. To this side of the screen, you can see the catalog, IOM, and specification links, as well as a description of the unit. We'll hit continue and begin our selection. We'll give it the name of RVE for the purposes of this demo. And our configuration tab pops up. As you can see, we have all of our design parameters, your summer outdoor dry bulb and wet bulb, your indoor humidity conditions, your winter conditions. For the purpose of this exercise, we'll leave the default bin weather data, but feel free to edit these as your application dictates. For this example, we're going to choose an indirect gas unit. As you can see, you also have hot water and electric. For cooling, we can do chilled water, a split system DX, or a package DX. We'll go with the most common, package DX. And as well, we have the ability for partial recirc and 100% outdoor air. Let's do 3000 CFM. And this will be a one-to-one supply to exhaust unit. So we'll also do 3000 CFM of exhaust air. We'll continue our selection. Our cooling tab pops up, and this is where we can get into affecting everything in the refrigeration system. For most applications, we are going to want modulating hot gas reheat. We'll do a compressor warranty as standard. And you can also adjust your leaving dry bulb temperature. We have our compressor types of standard scroll or digital scroll. And since most applications we see are around 55 degrees off the coil, we'll leave that for these purposes. The CAP software is then going to take our inputs and start generating a cooling performance. As you can see, multiple models popped up that generate near our design criteria. Since we said we wanted 55 degrees, the first one that pops up below 55 degrees is the RVE 35 nominal 12.5 tons. Our energy recovery is 62 effectiveness, and you can see we have a 52.7 leaving air dry bulb and a 51.89 leaving air wet bulb. We'll move on to our heating tab. We see our indirect gas, and since we're going for a room neutral application, we'll leave this as 70 degrees. We have the options for a 5-year or 10-year warranty. And also you could decide if you wanted natural gas or liquid propane. Our heating options have populated, and since we wanted to make sure we're room neutral, 77.3 degrees with 100 input MBH seems to meet our purposes. Moving on to our fan tab, we have the abilities to change our static pressures based off the external static in the system. We have wheel frost controls. We have the ability to adjust our filtration based on the application, and also dampers and an unoccupied recirc mode, which we'll select for this application. This will give you better dehumidification control during those unoccupied periods. Our fans have populated with this specific model. By clicking on our fan curves tab, we can actually see where we're operating on the fan curve and see that we are in pretty good spots on each of them. We're going to move to our configuration electrical tab, where we have the option of discharging out the side of this particular unit. We'll leave it as a down discharge. We have the ability of adjusting our electrical, and also we can change the motors depending on the safety factor required. Moving on to our controls tab, GreenHeck has opted to allow a user-defined or several preset control functions, whether it's a multi-zone VAV, a constant volume, or a network control. We're going to go with constant volume. At any point using the CAP software, you see question marks in blue. You can select them and gain information. So we can see that motor starters are provided, disconnects, transformers, terminal strips. You gain information about everything. Additionally, under the microprocessor controls, we see our room sensing devices. We're going to use a temperature and dehumidistat room sensing. And let's say we wanted backnet on this particular unit. We have the ability to add a dirty filter sensor, airflow monitoring, and rotation sensors for the wheel. Moving to our accessories tab, we can do a roof curb. We can change the height if we need to. Hail guards, we can add a shipped loose service outlet or a factory mounted and wired. We can change our finishes as needed. As you can see here, we have a unit mounted disconnect as standard. And we also have the ability to add an extra year extended warranty. Now moving on, we can go to performance review, and we can actually see the DX cooling performance highlighted here, from everything from face velocity across the coil to the unit application EER. We can see our hot gas reheat performance. That means after the reheat coil, we can see up to 70.6 degrees. We have our indirect gas heating performance of 77.3, as well as our unit electrical performance. From here, we can generate, after we save our project, we can generate a submittal. For sake of ease, I've already created it. This would be the first thing you see. So it's a summation of the unit. We're at 3,000 supply. 3,000 of that is outside air. And you can see all the accessories added, as well as your design conditions, your air performance, your electrical specs, your heating and cooling specs. As most of you are pretty familiar with the GreenHeck submittals, so we can kind of move through this, but we can see our package DX cooling performance, our heating performance again. These would be the same numbers we saw previously. We also have a wheel performance. So you can see our dry bulb entering, our dry bulb leaving the wheel, and our exhaust air entering and as it's exhausting. We can also see the cyc chart depicting on everything that is occurring. We also will see the same thing for the winter conditions. And you can get down to your isometrics of your drawing. So you can get your dimensions, everything all the way down to the standard roof curb. It's simply that easy to select a GreenHeck DOAS energy recovery unit. Get with your Holden rep for more questions or details.